Hello, and welcome to another video. I don't typically do these little types of personal, just kind of rambly videos, which is quite humorous considering that's what this entire channel was made for, but let's just proceed anyways. So, yesterday I released a video, and it was basically just a tutorial on how to upload Garry's Mod Maps to the workshop. It was an update of another video that I did, because that one was out of date, and it kept getting comments from people where they had issues I couldn't fix, or sometimes like I'd see their issue or something and like I didn't want to answer it at the moment and then I'd forget about it, and I felt really bad about that, so I wanted to make a new one. And I explicitly stated at the very end that, you know, my entire mission with that one was to reply to every comment, especially those that are asking for help. And that video only took me a day to make. I spent a couple hours writing the script. I spent another 40 minutes recording, because I make a bunch of mistakes on my scripted videos. And I spent the rest of the day editing it. And then I think about it, 7:30 p.m., I finally got the video done. And I uploaded it to YouTube on my second channel on an unlisted video. And I had my friends test it out just so I could make sure if this was, something that's actually easy to do, because I've done this process so many times before, and I can pretty much do it with my eyes closed and while I'm sleeping. So I just had to make sure that it was actually good, and it wasn't just a me thing. Fortunately, they were both able to figure it out, so I went ahead and uploaded it to the main channel, and yeah. Kind of the main thing about that is that after I uploaded it and got it released, I kind of sat there and thought to myself, like, I was really surprised that I was able to do that, because I kind of lost motivation for making long scripted YouTube videos. I'm not really sure what it was. I think it was just I was so tired of that goddamned HD models video. I honestly just want to forget that damn video ever happened. But I think because of that, it was really hard for me to make videos after that. But whenever I made that little tutorial, I was able to do that all in one day. And I was just thinking to myself that, I was able to do this. Like, I still have it in me. I felt like Thor in Endgame when he realized he was still worthy of, Mjolnir. And I don't know, I've been in a really good mood ever since then. Unfortunately, whenever you don't make YouTube videos for a while, you kind of lose your little discipline that you had for it with ideas and such. I could just sit there and, think for a couple minutes, and I'd have about 10 ideas. I mean, I'll get a picture on screen of just how many unfinished scripts that I have for videos. And even on topics I'm really passionate about, like Deus Ex or something like that, I just find it so hard to write scripts. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, it's not like the typing or anything, because I can sit there and, I can write code for hours and hours. Whenever I made the Gmod program for GMA files, I only made that in 2 days. I don't have an issue with just like the typing stuff. I don't know what it is about the writing scripts that was so hard, but I don't know. I feel like if I make these sorts of smaller videos, maybe I can work my way back up to it. So I am in the mood to make videos. It's just when I think about the writing process and all that, it's very dissuading. It's like whenever you plan out a game or something beforehand, like this giant RPG game that you have, and then you go to work on it, and you start on the first thing, and you're just thinking, wow, this is going to take me a really long time. It's really demoralizing to hear that, or to think that, and realize that. And the videos that I personally like to enjoy are the really long, multi-hour essay types, because those are the ones that generally have a large, profound impact on me. They get me to think, and they just introduce all these new concepts to me, and it's great. I really like watching these videos. Case in point, the 3-hour H-Bomber guy video on Deus Ex, or the 8-hour Pyrocynical video on Utopia. I can, maybe not in one sitting, but I can watch those things to the very end, and I'll be fully captivated along the way. And it's hard to, watch that and not have a tinge of motivation or inspiration to make videos. Inspiration, that's a better word to use. I'm really inspired to make videos, but the motivation to sit there and actually do the whole process, at least the writing process, it makes me not want to do it. Because, to be honest, when you're writing, you're just kind of sitting there typing words on a page, or at least, that's how I do it. So it very well could be that, my writing process is just not very engaging, and it's not something that you can sustain long term. So yeah, it's probably something I gotta work on. I'm not really sure what I want the next project to be. Yeah, there's a lot of things I'd really like to do at the moment, and that's another thing too, I'm also trying to do so many different things at the moment, and it's just, I want to make games. That has been there's imagine a list from top to bottom, from most to least significant in terms of what I want to work on at the moment, for dream jobs or whatever, the dream goal. And that would be at the very top. We have game development. There is nothing I love more than working on games. From a very, very young age, I've been making games with stuff like GameMaker 8.1, or before that I used an app on my phone called Game Creator, which was made using GameMaker, because yeah, that's insane somehow. I don't know why that's so surprising to me. I've made similar things in Unity before. Tools, that is, not game engines in Unity. That'd be weird. But at the next up, you'd probably have anything relating to PC hardware, because as with game development, I've loved computers probably from an earlier age, because I was using computers before I was making games with them. But there's just, I took some technical support courses from Google. They're IT thing. I took some courses on there, and the whole time I was watching that, I was pretty much engaged, except for whenever it came to the fucking Linux and Windows power user thing. I hate the testing on that. It's so terrible and slow. But that's something that realistically I could see myself doing long term, because I deal with computers every day. I have to help people with problems every day. I literally made a tutorial helping people with problems on my main channel. So I can see that as a job, a way for me to make money. In the future, maybe down the line, mid 20s, early 30s or something, I could probably get a job in the games industry. And then, somewhere down the list there's YouTube. YouTube probably would have been much higher, but I think it's a lack of, I've been really cynical with YouTube as of late. I say as of late, but it's really been ever since that HD models video took off. I've been very disillusioned with YouTube. It's just, I feel like I have to if I wanted to make that as a job, I'd feel like I have to sacrifice my morals, and I'd have to give up so much just to be able to make money on there. And not necessarily even make money, but to make money, to have it be a sustainable job with, security and stuff. I'd have to get, you'd have to become really, really popular on there. And in order to do that, at least the most safe and efficient way, you have to use a bunch of just terrible, scummy tactics. I just don't agree with it. And, it just seems YouTube just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and it's just, I'm not even going to attempt to try to make that something as a job. If you see me trying to make YouTube as a job, you have permission to shoot me on the spot, because I've probably ended up in such a desperate position that'd be preferable anyways. Tangent aside, YouTube, just to summarize, game development is more of a passion thing. I do that mostly completely out of passion, actually, because there is no money in it for me. It was never will be about the money for me. PC building, on the other hand, I say PC building, but IT work, that is mostly a money thing, because like I said, it's realistic for a job. That's something that I could probably do with enough applications and interviews and stuff like that. And then YouTube is once a dream job, but now it's just something I do mostly as a hobby. I don't even make longer videos anyways. It's mostly just games, like gameplay sessions, and then I'll take some funny bits of that, edit it down. And I can do that because there is no scripting or writing involved. It's just, just kind of off the cusp. Anyways, I realize I'm being very doom and gloom about a video where I'm supposed to be talking about how happy I am, because that's not changed. I am in a very, very good mood, very great mood, because I've kind of gotten that back where I want to make videos again. I don't know if I can stick to it though. Like I said, the discipline there is gone for the writing bit, and I don't want to spend weeks and weeks writing a video because, if it's not something I'm super passionate about, I'll get burned out. And even then, if I'm super passionate about it, like when I'm talking about Deus Ex, I love talking about Deus Ex. You ask me anything about Deus Ex, you better be ready for a 10-hour rant that I'm destined to go on. And even with that, I can't seem to force and will myself to do it, to write. So I might have to look into some different ways of writing videos. Because something about just sitting down for hours and hours at a time writing doesn't seem to be working. There's got to be some ways I can spice it up. While I could go unscripted, kind of like this, I don't know how well it would work, just because, I've never done that before. I could definitely give it a shot. I'd be open to that, but I guess we'll just have to see. Because if it's not something like this, where I can just talk, about myself and my feelings and whatnot, I don't know if this could translate to something scripted. Yes, I could talk about Deus Ex unscripted, but I can't just talk about Deus Ex. That's been done to death. And I know you can make YouTube videos on stuff that people have already, made it on. Whenever it comes to Deus Ex, the only thing I've really been able to think about that I could make into an interesting video is the differences between it and the mod Revision, which people seem to unfairly give a bad rap because, game is different, it must suck. Fucking purists, bunch of bitches. And I'm not gonna know any of the changes necessarily off the top of my head, different graphics, different music, different gameplay, but that's superficial stuff. What about map changes or gameplay changes, or cut content that's been restored, what was it in see I don't even know off the top of my head. That's why I gotta script these out. So it's in New York, Hell's Kitchen. The first visit to it, I think there's a talk where Denton JC can talk to I think he's a homeless veteran, and he talks about how he was immunized against the Grey Death in the war. And there's another guy voiced by Tom Hall who did Walton Simons, which is the funniest thing ever, just homeless Walton Simons. God. But I'm not going to know stuff like that off the top of my head. That's why I got to script this stuff out. And it also helps maintain flow because, even though it says 16 minutes, even though we just hit 16 minutes, it's probably not going to be 16 minutes. It's probably going to be more like 10 or 15, 14 or 12 or whatever, just because, I make a lot of mistakes, and there's sometimes long bits of silence where I'm trying to think about what to say, and, that all gets cut out. So I guess the only way to know for sure is just to get to it. So maybe after this is done, I'll do that. I'll get a list of bullet points and just try to talk then. I guess the only major concern with that would just be if I make mistakes, I'd have to re-record it, and, it's not very easy to replicate the conditions in which I'm talking for a re-record, because it's going to sound different, and generally you notice audio problems sooner or more apparent than, video issues. So whenever it comes to YouTube, I try not to make announcements of stuff I'm working on, just because, like I said, it's hard to stay motivated when I'm doing videos whenever it comes to the writing bit. And I mentioned a devlog that I was working on because I just released, I say just, but this was June 10th, or 12th, sorry, that I released a game. It was a horror game that I made in a week. It's kind of a self-imposed challenge just to see, because I had never made a horror game before, and I wanted to see if I could actually do it. And, I was. And my friend said it was all scary, and no one played it. I released it, no one played that shit. Anyways, I mentioned that I was going to be working on a devlog for that, and that was a while ago. You're probably wondering, where the hell is that? Or I guess I should say, 3 of you are probably wondering, where the hell is that video? Still in the writing phase, if you can believe it. I know, what a shocker, right? It's that goddamn writing stage. Honestly, what I should just do is I should just talk like this. Like, I should use speech to text, talk through it, get most of that done, and then go through and, retype some things out if they don't flow very well, and, stuff like that. Maybe have, like, bullet points that I go off of initially, and then I have the script that I just, said out loud, and then, I go through, edit it, make sure it all flows well, get the pacing all good, and then I'll voice over it. And then after I get the voiceover done, it's smooth sailing from there. I can edit audio and I can edit video. That's not even an issue with me. Sometimes I'll just make random ass, highly edited videos. Like, one thing I kept doing for a while was I'd make these, little in-universe videos or, little news broadcasts, or, Project Zomboid, of someone just watching a TV station and it cuts into an EAS to tell you of the zombie outbreak or something. I just do that shit for fun. I love doing that so much. I learned so much while doing it. I learned so much about SAME headers and how the EAS system works, just because I wanted to make a simple little video that no one will ever see. No one's gonna see that, mostly because the video's gone, but also because I learned about someone who's doing AI to do a thing, and I'll never be able to top that, so I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, I just do these things for fun. I had plans to make a whole little proper ARG thing, not those fucking Gmod ARGs everyone calls ARGs, even though there's no actual alternate reality game bit involved. But sorry, I need a drink of water because goddamn spit in my mouth. But yeah, I had whole plans to make a little ARG thing, and I got 3 of the videos on that thing done. I had a whole YouTube channel and stuff made for it, but I didn't think it was good enough, so I deleted all the videos I had for it. Thankfully, my friends had saved them all because I shared them on Discord. I literally have a DVD somewhere. Let me go see if I can find it real quick. But I have a DVD somewhere that my friend gave me of all the videos I have on here. Yep, I found it. It's in a jewel case. And it says... Oh my god. And there's a bunch of stuff here on the goddamn case. Let me open this bad boy up. How the fuck do you open these? I've not owned any physical media for a while. Oh, I didn't even put this thing in the right way. Yes, it says Gmod by T1WC 5/3/2023 Alpha 1, because presumably these are the first ones I made on it. But yeah, I make all these things for fun. I don't ever have any expectations when I'm doing this, because I do it purely for the love and the passion of making videos. So it's just the writing. I mean, we've already gotten this established that it's the writing, but this is just kind of to reiterate and give you more examples of that. But yeah, that's kind of where that is. I mean, I have a whole ass... I'll have to get a picture of it. I have a whole ass tape camera, VHS tape camera my friend gave me because he had another one of these. And it works sometimes. It's very finicky. I think it's the batteries, to be honest. But this thing works. I got a tape for it and everything. So if I really wanted to, I could probably get an authentic feeling. There's so many ideas that I have. My mind will get racing of all these things, and then I lose, the motivation to work on it. I lose so much steam, and it's kind of a similar thing with making YouTube videos. So I guess it came crashing down harder because I think I went an entire year on my main YouTube channel without uploading anything. Probably longer for this one too, because let me go look right now, actually. 6 months ago, half a year ago, and that was when I talked about upgrading my computer. So as you can see, I don't make videos very often. Not necessarily because they take a while, but because I take a while to get motivated to want to work on them, because when I'm working on them, I can get a lot of progress. And like I said, I made that tutorial in a single day. So, yeah. I'll have to try that whole writing thing. Hell, and there's even, you know, there's the whole thing after the fact. Like, this is my least popular channel that I'm uploading this to. So, you know, as far as I can tell, maybe only 2 people will see this. It's very possible. And I suppose after that, once you get used, like once you've had a large takeoff, like you have a large video that, you have a video that takes off and gets very large, you know, it's, I suppose since it's been a really long time and I despise the video now, it's easier for me to not really care if a video doesn't, you know, do well, but it's also another thing in my head where it feels like such a waste of my time to have spent a long, arduous process of working on a video just for a few people to see it. And I suppose it doesn't help that, you know, YouTube went from being, you know, very high up the dream retirement thing list, just, I don't even know what you'd call it, because it's not necessarily jobs, because I don't know what you'd call it, just the dream activity list. It was so high up there, and then it's probably at the bottom if it's even on there anymore. Honestly, thinking about whenever I started recording this, I was thinking about just talking about how happy I was, because I still am really in a good mood, but I realize now that most of it has just been me rambling on why. I guess it's really more just an explanation on why I take so long between videos. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna call this. I guess we'll find out when it's done. But that's about it for me, so I should probably get to working on some stuff. I mean, once I get this done, I'm probably gonna spend all day working on this. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just put some Deus Ex gameplay on here, and then I'll call it a day. But yeah, that's about it for me. I'll see y'all later. Bye, fools.